Good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Paul Salmon. I'm the Eastern Regional Sales Director, and welcome to another edition of Headlights Live for September. Today, our topic is going to be all about Yembo. We're going to give you some new information, some measurements, some power users, and we'll have some guest videos and all of that. But before we go into any more details about Yembo, just a couple of reminders before we move forward. As always, if you're interested in being part of a silver certification at your agency, all you have to do, folks, is just send an email to training@wvlcorp.com and we'll get you started. So if you're interested, please do so as soon as possible. Also, a great way to get some publicity and some airtime for your agency is to do a virtual networking video. And all I need you to do is just 60 to 90 seconds on your smartphone. Just record, say some nice things about your agency, some things you do well, how folks can reach you, a little bit of a bio, and you can email that to Wheaton Marketing at wvlcorp.com or text it to 317-518-1059, and we'll make sure we get some time to get you some publicity. Also, we do have a Facebook group, ladies and gentlemen, and the Facebook group is on your screen. Please join. If we have plenty of room, just go in and join, because that's the place that we use to share a lot of information with our agency family. So please do so when you get an opportunity. Also, it would not be good if I did not say Happy Driver Appreciation Week. So remember, this is the entire week for driver appreciation. And for that, we'll just run into our driver of the month. So for driver of the month, we have two folks. Every month we select two drivers of the month. And this month we have, for August, we have Anthony Paluch of Borman Moving and Storage, Woodridge, Illinois. This is Anthony's 10th driver of the month. And Anthony was also the driver of the year for 2022. Also, we have Philip Schruppel of Crosstown Movers, Eugene, Oregon. This is Philip's 8th driver of the month. And also Philip was driver of the year in 2015. So kudos to those two gentlemen. If they happen to get into your office, in your location, please give them a bottle of water, some coffee or something, and always thank them for their service. So moving right along with accolades and congratulations, we have our agents of the month. And again, we select one per brand for each month. And for Wheaton this month, we have Breda Moving and Storage in Roselle, Illinois as the Wheaton agent of the month. Joe Breda is the president. It's been family owned and operated since 1973. And also Joe's father started the company, and obviously, Joe is the president now, and he's been working there since he was a tiny tot. And actually, good news for Breda. Joe bought the company from his uncles in July of this year. So please reach out to Joe and congratulate him, because it could be you next. Also, now we have Bekins Agent of the Month, Bekins of South Florida. Their headquarters is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They have 3 locations. Joseph Sabga is the owner. Joseph has bought this company 20 years ago. Joseph was not from the industry, was excited about getting in the industry and bought the company. And it's been great for him since. So if you get an opportunity, reach out to Joseph and congratulate him. This is Joseph, Bekins of South Florida's 6th agent of the month. And also, I forgot to mention this, Breda's 7th agent of the month award. And folks, the agent of the month and the driver of the month, all these folks are eligible to be agent of the year and driver of the year. So reach out and congratulate them. So now, as I said earlier, we're going to talk about Yembo. We've developed a partnership, a strategic relationship with Yembo over the past few months or so, and it's been going quite well. And I will just tell you this up front, that we need more participation. I'm just going to let you know that up front. And also, we've got Jim Gaw, the president of Wheaton Bekins, who's going to share some experiences with you personally in some of the advantages of using this platform and share with you what he went through with his move personally. We also have April Milner, our Vice President of Sales and Marketing, who's going to give you some statistics on how this has been going and give you some power users that's been using the Yembo platform. Also, we'll have some videos and some feedback from experiences from Wheaton Bekins Connect and some of the situations that we've gone through in terms of feedback and experiences with the Yembo platform. So before we do all of that, we have Jim Gaw, who's going to share with you his experience.
Appreciate you emceeing for us. Anyways, want to talk to you a little bit about Yembo today. Yembo is a new tool. I think most of you know about it. We've put on a big push to actually move this forward for us. It's really a way for us to move into the 21st century. But anyhow, it's a great tool for you to be able to use for all of your surveys. You can use them actually even for intrastate surveys or local surveys as well as international surveys as well. So you can do a lot of different things with it. From my personal experience, actually I moved about a month and a half ago, and when I was going through the survey, I actually did it myself. So working with Jessica Curtis from our customer service team, basically just wandered through the house. Relatively large house, but we did the survey pretty quickly. It took us probably about 15 to 20 minutes. So the user experience from that was very positive. So being able to work with Jessica, have her kind of walk through it. As I was pointing, she was kind of taking pictures from her side of it. So it really was pretty seamless. And then when you get the actual printed visual survey, it's kind of cool to go through what the actual items are. So, what we've been trying to do is just have folks try the tool. And that's really been kind of the first thing, is just get in there and use it. And I think if people start using it, I think they get to a little bit of a level of comfort with it, at least, that, hey, I can go out and do this on a regular basis. So for us, what we've done is we've said, hey, we want to try and stimulate this a little bit. We're going to actually let you get some free surveys here. So if you want to go out and just play with the tool and check it out and see how it works, I'd really encourage you to do that, especially if you don't have salespeople in your group right now engaged with it. All you have to do is in the first or last name, put the word test. So you can go out, you can do as many test surveys as you want, you can mess around with the program as much as you want, but please do that. I just, pick it up, touch it, kind of work through it, get a comfort level with it and move from there. But it's a great tool. I think we're actually be working with them a little bit more, not to kind of drop too much information, but we are trying to work with them to see how we can continue to improve the user experience. So Yembo will be here. We've actually put a fairly large investment from the van line side to it. That was actually to guarantee 10,000 surveys in the first year. We've guaranteed 15,000 surveys in the second year. So obviously we want people to kind of engage with the tool, but it works seamlessly with Access. You can actually even print the survey. It's pretty much penny perfect to our tariff. So you can print the survey actually directly from the Yembo app, or you can send a PDF email directly from the Yembo app. There's a small or a nominal charge for that. I believe it's about $6 to actually perform that chunk of the transaction. However, you can do everything in the home now, and that's fantastic. And I think that just gives us the benefit to be able to sell a little bit differently. For new agents or for smaller agents that have never used a tool like this, I think it's a good thing, because now all of a sudden, without having to go out and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on software, you have the same footing that any other agent in your marketplace would have. So maybe you have a big agent from a different van line that you compete with. They're most likely using this tool as well. So, at the end of the day, I think it just helps you become more competitive across the board. And that's what we want. We want to see better conversions. We want to see better closing ratios. So we're trying to find every tool that we can provide to our network to actually allow them to be as successful as possible.
Good.
A couple of final points on it. One, Yembo, I think, is actually going to help you generate customer trust. One is because you're actually leaving behind a visual survey. So the actual shipper will sit down and actually have pictures of their items that are being moved. So it starts to create a level of transparency that's very, very positive for, I think, an end user. The other side of it is claims reductions. So if you're looking through this, as you're actually doing the Yembo survey yourself, you can take pictures of, damage to a chair or pre-existing damage to a table or any other item that's being shipped, and that can be notated in the survey. So that's something that's actually captured for us, and that can be brought forward to the driver, so that way they can actually take care when they're loading those items, as well as at the end destination, that we know there's actually a claim, and it actually reduces our overall claims percentage. One other thing to talk about too is just the accuracy of the surveys. I've had some folks come back to me and say, we just haven't been getting the survey accuracy that we get when we actually do it manually. Well, we're actually getting reports back just from industry folks is that the accuracy of these are somewhere between 85 and 95% now. So we're seeing a very, very good number turn on that side of it. We're also having other folks in the industry through Yembo telling us that their conversion rates have been going up as well. So a couple last positive things there that I think would actually make it good for at least a try if you're not going to just jump in feet first.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Also, there's an incentive for using Yembo. For every 20 Yembo survey completed by November 10th of this year, you will be entered into a drawing to win a $100 Visa gift card, which will be announced at our sales training summit in November. So make sure you get all those Yembo surveys in so you can be part of this. Now, we've got April Milner, our Vice President of Sales and Marketing, on the call. As I said earlier, April is going to go through some Yembo data and power users and some of the advantages that she's seeing with the Wheaton Bekins Connect group. April.
Thanks, Paul. First of all, I just want to thank everybody who has tried the Yembo product. And I know we're getting a lot of very positive feedback. Yembo always says that the first time you use it will be your least favorite time. So just keep trying it. If you've tried it before and you didn't really care for it, I do encourage you to try it again. If you used the word test as in the name, it will be a free survey for you. So please be sure to keep trying those surveys. The more you do, the easier it becomes and the better it gets. We do have some power users that I want to mention. As Paul would say, kudos to these people for really embracing the tool. And that would be American Moving and Storage out of Broomfield, Colorado. BMS uses the Yembo surveys for all of their locations. And then Olympia Moving and Storage also using the Yembo tool for all of their locations. So if you have some questions about how the tool works, or if you want some quick tips and tricks and you haven't gotten what you've needed from one of our webinars, feel free to reach out to these agents and they are more than happy to tell you how they've been finding success using the Yembo product. Some other fun facts that we have, the survey usage, you'll see there's a chart here on the screen. Obviously, we're doing more surveys in April and May because you're going into the busy season, but you can really see that since February, we've had a pretty big increase in survey usage with a huge spike at the beginning of May as people were preparing for the busy season. And that has allowed a lot of our agents to actually take on more appointments than they normally would because you're cutting out drive time and things like that. So a lot of our agents, especially in large metroplex areas, are finding it to their advantage to use the Yembo product because now maybe before they could only do 3 appointments a day because they had this drive time with heavy traffic to figure in. Now they're able to do 5, sometimes 6 appointments, and it's really working to their benefit. A couple other fun facts we have, Yembo offers multiple ways to use their product, and Wheaton and Bekins agents are using them in different ways. I always find this very fascinating, how different the Wheaton and Bekins brands are, how different their customer bases are. There really is a difference there between the two brands. So on the Wheaton side, the majority of people are using the Smart Consult feature, and that's the feature that Jim was talking about in the video, where you have the consultant walking you through the house and you're kind of guiding them on the survey. And only 12% of Wheaton agents are using the on-site app, meaning they're actually using the app while they're in the home. That is an option with Yembo. So you can make a beautiful visual inventory, the pictorial inventory, while still doing an in-home appointment if that's your jam. And then for the Beacon side, the majority of people are using the on-site app. 53% are using the on-site app, and 37% are using the smart consult. So kind of have a little flip there, but that just goes to show you that it's whatever you are most comfortable with, whatever works best for your situation, for your agency. There are a lot of options. Yembo also has more options than just these two. That's why these numbers don't add up to 100. If you're doing math in your head and you're thinking, April, those numbers don't add up to 100%. It's not just because I'm not in revenue accounting and don't know how to do math. There are other ways that agents are using this Yembo tool. So I do highly encourage you, if you haven't tried it yet, give it a try. Go back into our toolbox, watch some of the webinars that we've recorded about how to use Yembo, and feel free to reach out to those power users and see why did they keep using it? What did they love about it? And how can you make it work for your business? And with that, I'm going to throw it back to Paul Salmon.
Well, thank you, April. Appreciate that. And we're going to go through some feedback from one of our folks in Jessica in Wheaton Bekins Connect. She's going to share some experiences that she has using the platform.
So Yembo with national accounts actually can be helpful, especially when you are handling a rush or a short turnaround for a move. It lets you could even do your survey that same day as you are introducing yourself to the transferee. You can schedule, you can do your survey right then, and it helps sort of cut down that time between having a survey completed or even if, like I said, there's a short turnaround needed for the estimate, you can do the survey, review your result, get your cube sheet put together, and then go ahead and do the estimate the same day. It also helps with national accounts when you have a transferee that has a very short amount of time that they're available for a survey. For example, with some of my urban bound customers, I have doctors and nurses, and I even have some higher ups from Sinclair Broadcast that don't have a whole lot of time to devote to trying to schedule their survey, waiting for the surveyor. They need to know when their survey is starting. So we're able to schedule them for a time that they're able to be available. The virtual surveys tend to be a little bit shorter than in-home surveys. So they're able to say, okay, I can schedule out about 30 minutes of my day. It's going to be a video. We'll run through what I'm moving really quick. Survey ends, and then they can go about their day. If they have to catch a flight, you can schedule for right before their flight so that they're able to have their survey done before they take off either for a destination for house hunting or whatever the case may be. So it's really helpful in that regard as timing. The ease too is I've had some urban bound customers that like to see their cube sheet right after their survey's done. So I'm able to send that to them so that they can let me know if there's any changes that they see, if we didn't include anything. So it's really helpful there too, because they're able to actually see the pictures that we took during their survey. They're able to see where we're getting our box counts from, and they can compare it to others that they've received from the other carriers that they're working with. So it really helps there. So with the advantages, and that's also one of my favorite features, is that you're able to see the box counts for individual rooms. No two houses are the same. So some houses can be heavier on a certain box count. So you're able to see where that box count may be coming from and what specific room. For example, I have a customer now that has both a formal dining room and an eat-in kitchen. Their formal dining room has a lot of china. So I'm able to see that we're obviously going to need more boxes to pack that china in the formal dining room over, say, dishes in the kitchen. So you're able to see those box counts, and it helps the drivers too to be able to see where they might be using more boxes for this particular room over this room, even though they may have the same sort of weight in the room. This one's going to need more boxes. Another advantage, I guess, is that it's really easy to go in and edit the cube sheet. For example, if you have a transferee that's decided we're no longer taking the sofa in this room, the bed in this other room, it's really easy to go in and pull those out and it will automatically recalculate your weight for you. It can make the process smoother, and I say it can because on larger moves, it doesn't matter. Larger moves where you have a lot that's going on, it's going to take the time that it takes. With smaller moves, though, it does make it a little bit smoother. For example, a one-bedroom apartment, it's really easy for them to go in while you're on the call with them. They'll show you everything. It shortens the time between once the survey is completed to them receiving the estimate. So it can make that process a little bit smoother on the smaller moves. Larger moves, I would say it's about the same turnaround time, just because you're having to go through more pictures and more rooms. Obviously, the house is bigger, but smaller moves, it definitely makes the process smoother and can help save time. I would say, given the advantages, to try it. It does take a little bit to learn how to use it, just the keyboard functions, because there are keyboard shortcuts for adding items or deleting, and you can even duplicate several items. For example, in a storage room, if they have a bunch of Rubbermaid bins, you can actually draw a little box around your already pre-existing item tags and duplicate 6 tags at a time. It can really help in that, and it keeps things organized on the cube sheet because it's looking at it room by room rather than, okay, with a normal cube sheet, you may have a sofa, but you've already marked a sofa in the living room, so now you have to mark there is an additional sofa, but it's not actually in the living room, it's in the family room. Well, this will actually separate them out. So you have a sofa in the living room, you have your sofa in the family room, they're separating that weight out. Just try it. It can help a lot with organization. I do like the ability to edit the cube sheet whenever you need to. I also like the ability to change the packing. For example, you could have a customer that when you first talk to them and they're talking about the services they'd like to see on the estimate, they may ask for a full pack. You'll price it as a full pack. They'll receive that pricing. We've decided we'd like to do a custom pack instead. You are able to go right into that cube sheet and adjust it. If they decide they would like a fragile pack, because that packing is broken out by room, you can go in and pull exactly the number of boxes you need just to complete that fragile pack in that room. You don't have to guess. So that's another one of the favorite features, I guess. The other, as far as tools that I like, is the ability to actually increase the picture size if you need to. It doesn't necessarily have to stay as the preview picture. You can click it, it will turn it into a full size image, so it covers the whole screen, and you can still add tags so that you're able to see some of the smaller items that may not be visible in a smaller picture. With Yembo and their scheduler, I really like the scheduling because you're able to see all of your survey appointments, their dates and their times right in the same place. I also like that it doesn't let you schedule appointments for around the same time if there's already an appointment scheduled. So for example, if you have a customer that is available, say Tuesday at 10, a couple hours later, you talk to another customer and you're trying to schedule a survey and they're available Tuesday at 10. It will not allow you to schedule an appointment so that there's no overlap. Now you can schedule your appointment for right after that one, but it will not allow for you to overlap them so that you're not running into scheduling conflicts.
Good. Excellent. Excellent. Good job, Jessica. So before we move any further, let me say thank you to all the folks that have utilized the Yemba platform, and thank you to those who are planning to use it. And just a little bit of recap, Jim went through all the advantages in his personal moves, and April showed us some of the usage statistics and the power users. And yet Jessica went into a user perspective, which showed additional advantages, but yet some features that she went through herself. So the one thing that I'm hearing that's a common denominator here is efficiency. And that simply shows me that efficiency by using this platform will help with our productivity. And also, if you're in a claim situation, this video recording is going to help you to back up any claim that you are disputing or trying to settle. And it'll also help your closing ratio. So the one thing I will ask you guys to do, if you haven't signed up, the first thing to do is sign up and try it. And as April said, the hardest part is to try it the first time. So appreciate all that are participating and those who will in the future. So before we go, we couldn't do this without talking about upcoming events. We mentioned earlier this, it's National Truck Driver Appreciation Week. So put all your plans in place, get all your stuff together, get your cameras, your phones out, take your pictures, and make sure you post them on social media and tag your van line brand and share those photos so we can click the little like button and say that we like it. Also, Marketing Success Group. The next meeting is the 18th and the 23rd of October, September 18th, that is. To start with that one. You will be getting memos and please sign up. This is a great meeting led by our Director of Marketing, Jamie Shook. Gives you an opportunity to discuss and share ideas and all the beautiful things that you're doing so others can probably mimic you. Please sign up. You'll see something in your inbox real soon. So folks, the next headlights will be October 22nd. So look out for that. And also save the dates. Sales Training Summit is November 11th and 12th of this year. There should be something out there. You can go to wheatonbekins.com and make sure you sign up sooner than later. And the gala, although it's a little bit away, it's February 17th through the 19th of 2026. So looking forward to see all of you at these events. And again, thank you for taking the time out to listen to us, and go Yembo.